Hello, I am M-Dragon, and this is my review of the game Satisfactory. At time of writing the script, I have nearly 400 hours on Steam, and it's very likely I have more because Steam, some reason, likes to give approximate range. I'd first like to say that everything I'm about to say is purely my opinion, so if you think that I say something and don't agree with it, please keep your comment kind instead of attacking. Now, let's start with the good. I love the way that this game makes you think. It has a way of making you feel good when you're working on something and everything just snaps into place just as planned, purely because of how your calculations went. It has predictable elements with the math. Secondly, its story, while it is subtle and most people don't really enjoy it, I found it to be a nice addition. Just every now and then when collecting Sommer sloops or Mercer spheres. I thought it was a great addition. Nextly, I think that the pacing was really well. The progression never felt too slow, like I need to get to this thing just so that I can do the game, or play the game. It didn't feel too fast either. It didn't feel like I was getting hit with thing after thing after thing after thing. It felt really nice. I think it gave you the perfect amount of time to think through the solutions that you needed to get something done before giving you an easier way to solve it. For instance, in the early game, when building larger setups, you have to place each individual building over and over and over and over, whereas later on in the game, you can unlock blueprints, which make it so much easier. And now the bad. It doesn't have much here, but it is an honest review, so I should include it. I think that the end of the game could have done something more. I don't know what exactly, but the ending was very anticlimactic. I feel like with the way the story had been going, the ending could have been something more, something greater. And I think it was just a missed opportunity. I also think that some mechanics in the game were not explained well. For example, fluids. It is the easiest thing to point to and say that could have been done better. Because in the game, it really doesn't tell you how the fluids are going to work. It tells you that you need to raise them up with pumps and whatnot. It gives you the bare minimum, but for the most part, it's still a guessing game as to whether what you just set up is going to work or not, simply because it requires a fluid. It is very confusing and no real way to learn it in-game without just pure trial and error, which for this kind of game could make sense, but for such a key aspect of a majority of the game, trial and error is not the way it should have been implemented. Overall, it was a really good game. I would definitely recommend it. Me personally, I'd give it about 4.5 stars because it was very good. I loved it. It was nearly perfect. I think some things could have been done better. Again, purely my opinion. However, this is my review, so I will be stating that. Some things could have been done better. Simply the fluids and ending are key examples. I also think that something that could have been done better is including more swatch options to greater customize your builds. The options we got were fine. I loved them. But I did run out after some time and had to decide which buildings were going to look different. all small, minor things. Nothing that really matters a whole lot. So, that's why it only took off half a star. I would definitely recommend this game if you can afford it or if you see it on sale. It is a great one to pick up, especially if you love factory games that require you to think.
Landing platform